Hi everyone, thank you guys so much for tuning back into my channel where I love to talk about wealth, knowledge, love, and laughter. All right, so before I get into it, listen, I am super duper de-duper excited to say that I've made it to 100 subscribers. Like, I know that may not be a lot to some people, right? For you YouTubers that are like gurus and have been doing this for years, right? But for me, that's a lot. That's a big deal. And so I'm just grateful. Thank you guys so much for just seeing the value in my content and for even wanting to hit that subscribe button, right? I don't take it lightly. I do not take it lightly. I'm super duper excited and so much more to come. So much more to come. You guys have shown me that you appreciate the information that I'm bringing to the table, whether that be my personality, the information, the knowledge, whatever it is, someone appreciates it. And so as long as I'm making impact in some shape, form, or fashion, I'm excited about that. So it may not be 100K yet, but I'm at 102 subscribers today. So listen, I surpassed that goal. So I'm super excited about that. Just want to express my gratitude to you guys. Thank you so much for your comments and your responses. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you guys. All right. So today, guys, what I want to chat about is being consistent in your consistency. Yes, being consistent in your consistency is what I said. So I'm super duper excited to dive into this topic. So let's go. Hi everyone. Okay, thank you so much, like I said, again, for tuning back into my channel. So today we're talking about the power of being consistent in our consistency. So I know that topic may seem like crazy, right? It's like what? Like almost like it's a paradox. But it's a thing. I've realized that it's a thing to actually be consistent in our consistency. And I feel like when we really hone in on that word consistency and just applying that to multiple areas of our lives to get things done that we're working towards, it makes a difference when we really focus on that awareness of being consistent in the consistent. It's really about our activities, tracking our activities throughout the day, because there are days when we may be doing a lot of things and feel like we're busy, but we're not really being productive. And so being consistent in our consistency, for me, it kind of helps to keep track of those activities to make sure that the things that I'm working towards are action steps to actually get to the big end goal, right? So there are two major things that I feel are very important to track our consistency in those activities that we need to be consistent in. One of those things is discipline. Like discipline is a major life change for me. And it wasn't until I heard one of my coaches, the late Bob Proctor, say that discipline is giving ourselves a command and doing it or following through. That's simply what it is. Discipline is giving yourself a command and following through. And so if my command is, Jolunda, be consistent today in this activity. Be consistent today and get up and doing this. Do this at noon. Do this at this time. If I'm consistent in doing that and I'm giving myself that command and I'm following through, I am then showing consistency in my ability to be consistent. Okay, so that's one thing that I want you to really, really think about when it comes to your activities, when it comes to your goals and the dreams, the things you aspire to have, the levels that you aspire to get to in your job or your business. Tracking those activities, managing your activities versus managing your time, because what I've learned is we really don't have the ability to manage time. Time is going to continue to go whether we do what we need to do or not, right? So it's really about managing our activities and being consistent in that. And the main way to really manage those effectively and to be consistent is to practice being disciplined. And like I said, once again, being disciplined is giving ourselves a command and It's so easy for us to tell other people what they need to do, but a lot of times telling ourselves what we need to do, we lack in that area. So, I mean, you got to treat yourself maybe like your employees, or you have to treat yourself like, your assistants or whoever you have working for you, or if you're delegating in an area. Like, it's so easy for us to tell other people what they need to do, but when it comes to us doing what we need to do, we kind of lack in those areas. And I speak from a place of experience, and I also speak from a place of just hearing the same stories from some other people. I even had two ladies on a coaching call last week that was expressing to me that, they're in leadership roles, and it's so easy for them to delegate other people's activities. But when it comes to their own selves, they find themselves slacking, maybe watching TV when they need to be doing other activities to reach their goals. And so definitely want to highlight that. And just think about that. If that's something that you've realized in your own life, then just take account for that and make the change or the shift and do what you need to do to pivot, okay? So number 2, guys, this is major. All right, so number two, the second thing that you want to do to make sure that you're being consistent in your consistency is connecting to the right group of people. Connection. Man, I could stay on this topic all day. Connection has been one of the main things that has changed my life, my family's life drastically. And when I say I'm not speaking from a place of just me, because everything that I'm involved in, my family, my husband, my children, right? It's an overflow for them. And so when I reference myself, that means like my entire family. It has been life-changing for my family. And so with those connections, just connecting to the right people, connecting to people that are where you aspire to be, being in those environments helps to shape and mold you into that person, the highest version of yourself. It helps to catapult you towards your goals and your dreams even faster. You'll go further, right? There's a saying that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with someone else, right? Connection is so big. And it even reminds me biblically of Christ, how it spoke on, the 12 disciples, and how God was always walking. He was always doing something with a group of people. And, it's just amazing how parallel the Bible is to the life that we should be living. And a lot of times, because people go through hurt and pain and grief or whatever it is, it's like we get off of the path that's already been laid out for us. Like, connection was so big for Christ. Like, he was a man of a business, right? He was a businessman. He was a man of good integrity. He was a man of fellowship and relationships and connections. And I just think about, even my own life, how I grew up. It was implanted in me that if you want something done, do it yourself. That's a challenge that I've had to work through as an adult. Like, no, that's not the mentality that we should have. And what I've learned is that's a poverty mindset. And, I'm not knocking, my upbringing. I have awesome parents, amazing parents. But we're healing and we're continuing to grow together, And so we can't continue as adults, right? We can't continue to blame other people for our mishaps or our lack. We have to take responsibility for that. And so in doing so, I've realized that that's poverty. That's a poverty mindset to have. And it's so important to learn how to delegate and duplicate yourself so that you can create the freedom, right? You can create the freedom that you want and get your time back so that you have that time to spend with your family. Connections is the second thing that is really big and that's really going to help you to be consistent in your consistency. If you're intimidated by connecting to a group of people that have more than you have, that are doing bigger things, then that requires a moment of self-reflection. you really want to evaluate yourself and reflect on why you're feeling that and what's keeping you from those people or those connections. I think really it's, like I said, it's a multitude of things. It could be from past hurts. It could be just from different mindsets. But ultimately, I feel like it's a plan of the enemy. It's a plan of the enemy to isolate us and keep us from connecting to other people, because he knows that once you get connected, like that's going to break out the best version of yourself, the person that Christ created you to be when he formed you in your mother's womb. And he doesn't want that. He doesn't want you to grow. He wants you to stay comfortable. He doesn't want you to become the best version of yourself. He wants you to be always thinking about your past and always in a poverty mindset. That's what the enemy wants. And so you have to take the step to heal. You have to take the step to self-reflect. And you have to take the step to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. I learned a few years ago from a good friend of mine, and she would always say this, and at the time I just hated to hear it, but it's so true. And even that was a connection that I needed. And she said, we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So we have to find comfort in those uncomfortable places in our lives, because when we're uncomfortable, that's when we really start to grow. And so, so I want to encourage you. If you're lacking community, if you're lacking connection, let's connect. I want to connect with you. I want to share all of the secrets of things that I've learned to create generational wealth, and to just grow and flourish as a person, as a wife, as a businesswoman, as a mother, right? It's just, like I said, I could talk about this all day, but I just want you to know that someone is here for you. I'm here for you. I want to see you grow. I want to see you flourish. I want to see you create that generational wealth now that you can have access to now, not just for the future generations, but no, we want to waddle in some of that fruit of our labors now, right? We don't want to just, listen, I understand we're doing things for generations to come, but I need to see that now in my life, okay? And so just with the resources and the connections that I have the ability to see that and to create that, and I want to share that with you guys. And so if this information resonated with you, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. Share this information with someone that you feel that it will be helpful for. And thank you guys again so much for tuning back into my channel. I'm just so excited about reaching 100 subscribers and super duper excited for what's to come in the future. So so thank you guys once again so much, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you guys again on next week. Be blessed and have a great week. All right, so I am going to grab my tripod. I'm going to grab my tripod and get on in here so that I can have some assistance while I am talking to you guys. Okay, I need to bring this down.